Hello, everyone. My name is Lydia Martinez. I am the founder of L Marketing and Events and Restaurant Owners Marketing Academy. I'm so excited to be with you today to talk about Pinterest. You know, one of my very early businesses was actually a food and travel blog that I was writing with my husband. And we're not really doing that anymore. The blog is still up. But my business has grown so much that I don't have the time to give it like proper attention right now. And so because of that, uh, that was like running that food and travel blog was why I fell in love with Pinterest. It got more engagement. It netted me more traffic. It gave me more inspiration. Pinterest is a phenomenal marketing tool. It really, truly is. And it's a great tool for SEO. It's a great tool for brand building and product awareness. There's some great things about Pinterest in that it is a social media platform where people go to be positive. So you hear about some of those other social media platforms, Facebook or Twitter, where there's a lot of negativity. It feels like a bit of a swamp, as far as the type of engagement that you can get sometimes. Pinterest, people go there and they use it in positive and constructive ways, which makes it pretty unique as far as some of the other social platforms out there. The other great thing about Pinterest is that it is a platform that is truly, truly, if it's used right, optimized for SEO. It almost acts as a search engine for people to find what they are looking for when they are ready to make a decision to buy. So people on Pinterest, they're not just aimlessly perusing, they're looking for something specific. What am I going to make for dinner tonight? What type of tattoo do I want? What type of capsule wardrobe do I want to build? What type of coffee will make the best cappuccino? And so because it's a platform where people are there to make decisions and get ideas that will lead them to action, it is a phenomenal platform for actual conversions if you have an online store. It's also a great platform to drive traffic to your website very, very actively. And it's a longevity platform. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those platforms, those posts have a very short half-life, where the majority of the people that are ever going to see your Facebook post will see it within the first 4 hours. Twitter, it's within the first 18 minutes of posting that the majority of people who are ever going to see it will see it. And Instagram, depending on the site, it's anywhere from 2 to 6 hours. So with that, keeping that in mind, Pinterest, you can have a pin go viral 2 years after you posted it. That's something that happened to my blog. So my food and travel blog still gets around 5,000 hits a month, primarily from older pins. So people still use them, they'll still engage with them. And so it has a lot of longevity to it. If I was doing this call or this live stream a year or two ago, I would have told you that you needed to post in volume to Pinterest to be effective. And I would have said you need to be doing 30 to 70 pins every single day. And it's okay if you're repeating pins and pinning to different boards and pinning to different group boards. You can post the same content over and over again, but do it in bulk and schedule it way out and make sure that you've got that many posts going out every single day to be consistent. Now it really is about quality over quantity. Pinterest is starting to give more weight to unique content that hasn't been shared very many places before, based on the very first pin. So with that quality, we're talking about using new images, writing new copy, even if it's to the same link or the same place on your website, adding, having some that are photos, some that are micro videos, having something that is fresh and posting less is way more effective than posting in volume. So finally, Pinterest is about quality versus volume, but it is about consistency. So not only do you need to regularly be pinning your own content, you need to have a strategy to regularly pin content by other people that are within your niche, within your general industry. If you're doing that and you're pinning about 20% of your own content and 80% of somebody else's content, and you're doing anywhere from 8 to 10 pins a day, you are golden. Now, 8 to 10 pins a day sounds painful. I know it. It really does. It's way better than 30 to 70 pins a day, but it's still a lot. The key to being consistent is to use a tool to actually schedule out those pins at optimized times when you're going to get the most bang for your buck. So when it will be seen by the highest volume of people. And the tool that we use when we're managing a Pinterest account is called Tailwind. It's phenomenal. It allows you to find other content in your niche and repin it. It allows you to pin to specific boards. It allows you to schedule your pins at times that will be the best times, the best days, the best times. One of the interesting things about Pinterest is a lot of times people are on Pinterest either very early in the morning or late in the evening because they're doing it as a guilty pleasure, before or after work. And in the case of moms, after the kids go to bed. But you don't want to be up pinning live at like 8 or 9 p.m. at night. So you want to schedule that out at the best times for when your audience is going to see it. The other thing that's really important is that you are joining group boards on Pinterest and actually posting there. Group boards will have thousands of followers. So Pinterest board is almost like a category. It's saying these pins are all about this topic. So for example, I was talking with somebody earlier today that owns a glamping campground. So there are boards out there that are about like ideas for glamping and places to go glamping and how to have a glamorous camping experience and, camping 101, how to get started. And so posting to those different boards, posting pins to those different boards will likely be a part of the strategy. Actually sharing that content out and pushing it out there via Pinterest. The other thing to remember, and those group boards can give your pins a broader reach than they would get otherwise. The other thing to remember is that Pinterest does use category tags or the equivalent of hashtags. So using a hashtag, 1 or 2, it doesn't have to be a ton, on your pin can help you be found. The other thing that Pinterest does do is meta descriptions and keywords. So writing good code, embedding that on your website so that that gets carried over into Pinterest is really, really important. It makes a huge difference for being able to have your content be screened, scanned, found, not just by Pinterest, but by the other web crawlers, so that if people Google something like glamping in XYZ city, your pin or your blog post might come up. People can find that and then engage with it. The other reason, so yeah, use Pinterest as your SEO tool. So the other reason that you want to also work with Pinterest or have a Pinterest strategy is if you are in any type of visual industry, it really can help you get the ethos of your brand out, the overall feel, the flavor, what makes it unique. And so getting that out is really, really important. But it also means that you need to have visually appealing photos of your product, of your services, of your location, if you're a venue. All those things are really, really important for a good Pinterest strategy, quality photography. The other thing that is important is Pinterest optimized images. So Pinterest has kind of a 2:3 image ratio that is vertical instead of horizontal. And so you have to have those vertical images to successfully push those out to Pinterest and have them be optimized the right size so that people will like them and engage with them. It used to be that you wanted to put a little bit of text over your images to talk about what it was in the image, but that is trending away right now. So invest more in images and the right size of images instead of the right design or designing or laying text over your images. One of the ways that I figure out what types of images are trending or working really well is I'll actually look at the Pinterest trends report and see what is trending, see the types of images. The other thing that I'll look at is any ads that pop up in my Pinterest feed. I look at what type of content or images they're using and try to model my images after that. That tells you what is working, for a small business that doesn't have a big budget. The other thing about optimized images is you want multiple optimized images per piece of content. But the trick with optimized images for Pinterest is that the images that are optimized for Pinterest are not optimized to be visually appealing on a website. So you need to go in and embed some hidden images. You can go into the HTML code and hide the images so that they don't show up when somebody's scrolling your website. But when you go to do a pin, that will actually show up. And then you can pin that optimized image. It will still lead back to your blog post, but it doesn't impact the visual appeal of your website. And so that's something else that you need to consider, and what I mean when I say optimized images. But if you have 2 or 3 or 4 hidden images on your blog post that then can be pinned, it means that you are set up to really engage with people on the blog post or on the within Pinterest so that they'll go to your website. Finally, think of Pinterest as an SEO tool, a search engine optimization tool. It's a way to get people interested in your content, get people to your website at the moment when they're ready to make a buying decision. Thank you so much. This is kind of high level stuff for Pinterest, but if you need help getting into the nitty gritty, creating a Pinterest strategy or an overall marketing strategy, please reach out. We're happy to help you. Again, thanks for tuning in. My name is Lydia with L Marketing and Events and Restaurant Owners Marketing Academy. Have a fantastic day.